Pyrethrum Processing Company of Kenya Managing Director Paul Lolweri and 3 others continue being guests of the state this weekend, awaiting arraignment on Monday. Lolweri and 4 others were arrested yesterday and are facing 6 charges, among them undertaking a project without prior planning. And we're now joined by our reporter Alan Ochanda from Nakuru. He is with the EACC regional boss. Good afternoon, Alan. It's great to see you. What can you tell us regarding the arrest of the Pyrethrum Board of Kenya boss?
Good afternoon to you, Grace. Indeed, we are on the case of the Pyrethrum Processing Company Limited boss, that is Paul Lolweri. This is formerly the Pyrethrum Board of Kenya. Remember, this is a sector that has been grappling with claims of corruption, marring the old leadership, and just trickling down to the farmers who've been crying foul of getting losses, much losses as opposed to what they expected to get profits. And so the board, the managing director is actually being incarcerated here in Nakuru, awaiting arraignment on Monday. And so he's facing 6 charges. Among them is engaging in a project without a prior planning, and so leading to loss of a colossal amount of money, which the EACC boss here in Rift Valley region, or rather South Rift region, Khalid Hassan, will be shedding more light on it. And so karibu sana bwana Khalid Hassan. Maybe we've seen some of the officials from the Pyrethrum Processing Company Limited being incarcerated, and you're seeking to arrest more people. Maybe just shed more light. What led to the arrest, and for how long have you been on this case?
Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. This is to confirm, first of all, that the Commission has been investigating allegations of corruption, irregular procurements, and other corruption-related issues in the financial year 2018-2019, and it has submitted its file to the Director of Public Prosecution for concurrence on the charges in which we want to prefer against the Managing Director of Kenya Pyrethrum Processing Limited. We also want to charge the head of procurement, who has also been involved in that process, and also the head of finance. Among others to be charged in that prosecution file includes two company directors, Boncam Ventures Limited. So this is an investigation which we have been pursuing for the last 1 year, and the Director of Public Prosecution has given us consent to charge the 6 entities, including the company.
Maybe if you could just tell us who are in custody and who are being sought by the authorities so that they could just face the law come Monday.
We have arrested the 3 officials of the Kenyan Pyrethrum Company, including the Managing Director of Pyrethrum, Paul, and the 2 heads of finance and procurement. We have also arrested 1 director of the company, Boniface Ndungu, and we are sorting to arrest Samuel Kamau in relation to the offenses which he has committed. The various offenses that we are going to charge on these 6 individuals are issues of engaging in a project without prior planning in terms of budget and procurement process, and also we are going to charge them on deceiving the principal, unlawful borrowing, illegal acquisition of public property, among other charges.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Bwana Khalid. Grace, those are just some of the boss here in the South Rift of the EACC, Khalid Hassan, shedding some light on the progress of this case. Remember that the case has not taken off, but they will be arraigned on Monday alongside other persons who've been accused of just aiding and abetting the loss of a colossal amount from the Pyrethrum Processing Company Limited here in the Republic. Remember that the Pyrethrum has been being grown from 18 counties. Farmers in those respective 18 counties have been crying foul of dwindling fortunes from their crops. And also remember that President Uhuru Kenyatta came out during his State of the Nation address to just indicate that the state will be coming in to ensure that they salvage the pyrethrum farmers. But here, the EACC is now hot on the heels of those it deems are responsible for the loss and for the losses in the pyrethrum sector. And so it's a story we are still keeping an eye to ensure that we bring you a comprehensive story in the consecutive or rather substantive bulletins. Grace.
Certainly, Alan, our reporter there from Nakuru, always a pleasure catching up with you. He was speaking to the EACC regional boss of Kosa in regard to the arrest of the Pyrethrum Board of Kenya boss, that is Mr. Paul Lolweri. And that link with Alan brings us to the end of Weekend at 1 today. Remember some of the stories that we're following up for you. That mine that collapsed in Taita Taveta, where 3 people unfortunately lost their lives. And of course in Loresha today, we did have a fire, but there are no casualties, though property of unknown value was destroyed. Now, that's where we end it here. My name is Grace Kuria. We take a break, but after the break on KTN News, we'll be back with the live coverage of Team Embrace, which is in Garissa County. Enjoy the rest of the viewing.